We want to welcome you to a brand new Mission Park Terrace.
Dick, can you feel the excitement in the air?
I can tell something special is coming for Day of the Dead this year.
That's right. We'll be sharing some fun family events everyone will want to know about.
And we're also going to take a trip to Nashville to be with some dear old friends and learn about some new ways to remember our loved ones.
But first, let's hear from Reverend Patrick Gahan with some special thoughts for Day of the Dead.
And we'll pay tribute to lives well lived.
Color. Color is what I remember about moving here in 1973 as a young college student. In Alabama, we didn't decorate graves and porches and living rooms with oranges and yellows and every color of the rainbow to remember the people who had died. But they did here. Oh my goodness, such as I had never seen before. And as a pastor, I realize how important that is, because the people who have gone before us into glory, they've left color. They've left color in our lives. And we should be joyful about that, not morbid. You know, this week I think of my mom, I think of my two brothers and sister whom I buried, I think of hundreds of people I've buried in the church. But mostly this week I'm thinking about General Colin Powell. He and I both were trained at Fort Benning, and when he was becoming a major general, well, I was becoming a first lieutenant. Big difference. But what I remember about General Powell was that he had a lime green 1967 Volvo that his daddy had left him. And every time he was off from being Secretary of State or Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, he would tinker on that lime green Volvo, and everybody who knew him well said that characterized him. So today, let's pray for those who have covered our life. Let us pray. Blessed and most holy Jesus, we praise your name for all those who have painted our life in bright colors, those who have gone before us. And Lord, as we remember them, help us to retain the hues and different shades of hope that they have left marked upon our lives. And may we walk nobly, and may we live lives that are reverent and that are up to their standards. In your holy name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
And Kristen, What events are we having at Mission Park this week for Dia de los Muertos?
Well, coming up on Friday, everyone can come out to Mission Park South and watch Disney's Coco on the big screen in the parking lot.
7:30 on this coming Saturday, we're going to have the Dia de los Muertos run right through the middle of the cemetery, so heaven can wait.
Now, let's take a look at how much fun people could have this weekend at Mission Park South. Time to go to Nashville and meet an old friend with some very personal ways to remember someone we love. Hi, we're at the NSDA convention here with our dear friend Glenn Vaughn in the messenger booth.
You know, it's his personality. And also what he tells you, he delivers. He never ever leads you down a primrose path, so to speak. And the things that they come up with, the design, the print, the media, the things that they do for the families we serve, you know what? They're firm, just right on top of it. They're cutting edge, and so that's what we love about Glenn. He's cutting edge too.
Messenger is actually the largest stationery company in the funeral industry, and we do a lot of personalization. And most of our product is personalized, and everybody wants things made personal this day and age. So the quality's there, and we can actually do it for you.
With the program that you have in place, it really streamlines the entire personalization process.
Exactly. With our Make It Personal program, the admin inside the funeral home can actually do everything for the family, as far as pictures and videos and casket panels even, where it can all be personalized. People like this, you gotta love them. Customers are the best. We've had a great relationship. I've known Dick and Kristen for a lot of years, but all of my customers are all loyal, and they're just a lot of fun to deal with.
Glenn is the real deal, and when our directors call and they need something, he treats them as if that is the only thing he's doing all day, and he gets it taken care of, and he thinks in advance. He also goes and checks out the selection room, makes sure that we have the inventory we need. He's spot on and takes good care of all of our funeral directors, which takes care of our families.
We got a great marketing team. Our girls in marketing are fantastic. Our director of sales, Heather, has just done a great job putting the team together. And so they all do a great job. Hence, if you take a look at this booth, that's all that. This is how we make it personal. This is our remembering with love that the funeral director can show the actual family, and the family can go online and order themselves and ship it within 24 hours. This one right here, our most popular book. An oak tree in just about every state in this country that looks similar to that. And it's a nice one of those views that you'd like to be sitting underneath that tree doing absolutely nothing. This is our newest, what we call our Merlot book. It's leather, made in the U.S. And of course, that's our new Monarch, which is also made in the U.S. Those are our two newest higher-end registered books that can actually be personalized. We have a great time. They got some of the best directors in the city of San Antonio, that's for sure.
Will you please join me now, and let's honor those people that we'll never forget.
Dick, at our last Day of the Dead event at the cemetery, you met someone special. Will you introduce us to him?
It would be my pleasure. You know, I'm with Mr. A.B. Lujan, and he just drove up to pay respects to his family here at Mission Burial Park. Is that correct, Mr. Lujan?
Surely, yes.
So tell us a little bit of the story about who's buried here and your memories and your history of Mission Park.
Oh, well, my history here is written on the tablet of my heart. I was 6 years old when my youngest brother died of meningitis. He was 3 months old. And Dad planted an Arizona ash right there where he's got his plots. And we used to water, come and water almost every weekend. That tree lasted 71 years.
Oh my gosh, it normally only lasts about 20, 25 years.
True.
Oh.
And that was my daddy's favorite tree. He liked it because they grew so fast. Arizona ashes grow fast. But my favorite tree is oak. So I replaced it with an oak.
Attaboy.
Yeah, so it'll last a little longer.
Good job, Mr.
Yes.
Lujan. Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming out to Mission Park, and our family and your family, we're simpatico, and we just love having you here and celebrate the altar for all of us.
This is beautiful, yes.
Well, thank you very much for being here.
God bless.
God bless you, sir.
Surely.
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys have a great day.
Now, here's a classic way to create an unforgettable send-off to someone that's really special.
It's the ride of a lifetime.
Kyle Stovall. How you doing? With today, and he's going to tell us a little bit about these very exciting cars. It looks like instead of going forward, he's going back in time. So tell us a little bit about
Absolutely. So what we have here is a modern take on an old classic vehicle. Max Prenzing, car owner, car founder, car company founder out of Minnesota in the 70s, has designed these cars based on golden era of automobiles, Rolls Royces were cars in that 30 era. Richard Neal, the founder of Rosewood, commissioned Max to build a car in the late 90s, early 2000s, specifically for the funeral industry based off his design. After a few years, Max delivered the car to Richard, and through a relationship, Richard was able to acquire the company from Max Prenzing. Incorporated in 2012, Rosewood Classic Coach out of Muertos, Arkansas. Richard started building these out of the back of his crematory. He started off with a handful of guys, car people, trade people. Right now, we're producing roughly 20 cars a year. Using Max's design, we've implemented our own designs, our own upgrades. We run current engines, LS3s with modern drivetrains, GM with disc brakes, but you still get the classic styling of the Prenzing motor car.
I'm with Richard Neal, and he's actually the owner of the company, the owner of this vehicle, and he somehow came up with a creative way to make this around a crematory. So let's hear that.
I'm Richard Neal, and I'm a fourth generation funeral director and embalmer myself. And I came across this concept and had a car built for myself for my funeral home because my competitor was rolling his cars every 3 years, and I couldn't keep up with him. So I had my car built. It got to be such a popular thing that I began to make copies of my car in my crematory at night. So that I had all kinds of body work that I was doing up there. And I was keeping 2 or 3 on order at any given time. And then in a matter of 8 to 12 weeks, I went from 3 orders to over 30 orders. We've got our manufacturing up and going. We're looking to expand our building where we've got more production capability, but we're still very custom in what we do and how we do that.
Well, it looks a little bit like right out of a Godfather movie to have this car, so there must be something to that.
Well, you hit on one of my favorite points is I was able to take the Prenzing design, which is its own unique design. It's an OEM manufacturer like Ford or Chevrolet. I acquired the Prenzing Motor Company, and then I was able to combine the golden era of automotive style, which is the 30s, with horse-drawn hearse elements, which are the big grand windows, the big oval windows, the grand vistas. And then I have the benefit of all the latest and greatest driveline technology, all the fuel injection, 4-speed, 6-speed overdrives. It's just amazing, the electronics and things that we can do now. And I've been able to combine all of those into one nice, powerful package.
Do you make a limousine type car?
And of course, you can go to rosewoodclassiccoach.com, and we've got a lot of pictures, interior pictures, and all of our options.
So I bet people use that for a wedding.
I have a lot of customers who are buying the limousine and a trailer, and then they can use it for funeral. They can use the limousine for doing weddings, and then also too they can split the trailer off, run it with a motorcycle. They can run it with a hot rod. If the decedent has his own hot rod, what a better way than to hook it to his own hot rod and take him out with it. It's just so versatile and so timeless with what we're doing.
Well, you're an interesting guy, and we really appreciate you being in the industry and taking care of so many families that you serve and making life better for those that leave us.
Awesome. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate your time, your interest. RosewoodClassicCoach.com. Come see us. Thank you.
We'll get one ordered.
Hey,
All right.
you bet.
To get ready for Day of the Dead, let's take another look at people who have brightened our lives. Welcome back to Mission Park Cares.
And I want to introduce you to Rasan Brown, who's going to talk to you about advanced planning and why it's so important. I'm with Rasan Brown today, and I'm going to tell you he's with a company that's going supersonic called Blue Nebula. And Rasan, I want you to tell all of our friends out there, tell us the value of pre-need.
I fell in love with the idea of meaningful work. You know, work where you can do something and introduce a product or a service that actually has value and helps families when they need it most. I've sold things in the past, and I've worked for companies where it just feels like you're taking, and it's not equal return. But in this, I know that everybody that uses this product and this service, it's actually going to make a difference, for them and their family. And pre-arrangement, that's what it's really about.
So when you say pre-arrangement, you're talking about you're going to sit down with a family and you're going to discover what their wishes should be or could be. Is that correct?
I kind of look at it more like a wedding planner. I'm actually helping them to develop the service, make selection, leave instructions for those who are not aware of what it is that they want, and you're really leaving a legacy if you think about it. Losing a loved one is traumatic. And that's not the best time to be making major financial decisions and large decisions, where when you pre-arrange, you can put some of that stuff in writing, make some of those decisions for them. You know what you would like, you know how much you would spend typically, and you can do that where there's no emotional duress And that's just a better way to do it. And once you put those arrangements in writing and make those decisions, you can actually pre-fund it as well. So pre-arranging is like step one, put everything in writing and make the decisions. Pre-funding is how you can actually pay for it in advance and make it even better for them when you pass away. They don't have to try to come up with the money. GoFundMe's or all different types of borrowing money from here or there, using insurance policies, which really should be an immediate estate for your family to live on.
And Rasan, some of those things, when you're talking about though, when you talk about pre-funding and prepaying and that sort of thing, but you can set it up where there's a payment plan that basically fits any budget. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Absolutely, that's true. It's flexible. Typically when you wait until the death occurs, payment is due 24, 36 hours before the service. And that's not very flexible. You need to pay it in full. And not a lot of people have 10 to 12,000 on average just laying around. But the thing about pre-funding is there's no service or there hasn't been a death, so you don't need to have it paid up front. You can set it on payment plans. Most funeral homes have an option where you can make monthly payments and set it up for a few years, and then once it's paid for, then you're done.
Excellent advice. And Rasan knows his business. He knows how to sit down with the family, work with them through the trials and tribulations. But the beautiful thing is, planning ahead of time. It's really, really a good program. And Rasan, we want to thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Such great insight.
It was a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Here's a few more reasons why a pre-need plan is a smart idea.
I'm at the NFDA, and I just luckily ran into John McQueen. John, I want you to tell the folks in San Antonio and all over the universe what's the value of being in the funeral business at pre-need. Give us a little bit of your wisdom. How about that?
I'd be happy to do that, Dick. The value of being in funeral service is having that opportunity to really help people in their most desperate times, but more importantly, from the pre-need standpoint, being able to really help put their mind at ease so that we get things taken care of, so that the ones that are left behind are actually much better off. Because again, as we all know, the funeral is really not for the deceased, it's really for the living, and we want to make sure that everything's in order and well taken care of.
Gotcha. Well, you're obviously, even though that you sold your businesses, you're obviously at the NFDA, and so that means that you're still carrying on the legacy of your family and your passion, correct?
I used to tell my staff all the time that there's the 4 P's of success in anything in life, whether it's the funeral industry or just life in general, and that's you gotta have a purpose. So you got to know what your purpose in life is. You got to have a plan, because if we don't know how we're going to get there, we're never going to make it, right? You got to have passion. If you don't love what you do, then you might as well find something else to do. I love funeral service in all the different ways that I do it. I grew up in it. It's the lifeblood of me. And then my son was a Division I swimmer, and so I always say the 4th P is persistence. We know that with any great athlete, the game is won on the practice field, not on the competition field. And so in his case, it was all those hours he'd spend practicing in the pool, as opposed to the few minutes he might swim in the pool, that made the difference. And
and what's interesting is he has more than 4 P's. Did you notice that he had pre-need and people on top of that?
That's true. Maybe I need to rewrite my book and make it the 6 P's.
Let's make it the 6 P's. Don't you agree?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
My
again.
pleasure.
Thank you, buddy.
Nice to be with you.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Now it's time to lift our spirits with those unforgettable people that have gone before us.
Thank you for being with us on Mission Park Cares.
And don't forget to bring your entire family to come see Disney's Coco on the huge outdoor screen.
And the Dia de los Muertos run is this Saturday morning at 7:30. But go to missionparks.com to register and get all the details.
Now remember, you know that we love you. And at Mission Park, it's truly our mission to care.
See you this coming weekend.